Okay, it's time to get the timing belt off now. So we'll get the belt off, and then we'll get the pulley off of this side, and then what? Pull the head. Yeah, that's what we do. So first, timing belt, and you have to remove this tensioner here. The bolts are on the bottom side. Not terribly difficult to get to, but they're there. So, tensioner next. The tensioner is out. Now the belt can come off. But first I gotta rearrange this so it's not really in the way. Well, not really. It'll come off. The belt comes off really easy once the tension is off of it. Wonder why that cam doesn't turn easier. It should. This one spins quite freely. That one's got considerable drag on it, which is kind of weird. No real reason. Oh, I know. It's still skipping on the belt. Never mind. And now we'll get this pulley off so we can get to these bolts in here. There is a flat on the camshaft to put a wrench on. And you install the wrench and take a 15mm to this bolt out here and loosen it up. Alright, I have the pulley off, and now let's see if we can take these bolts out. 4 bolts, and maybe the head will sneak out of there. It does have some clearance issues back here, so I got my doubts, but we're going to try it. Because I really don't want to take this cover off again. I don't want to disturb those water pump bolts or gaskets. Here we go. Alright, I've taken the bolts out on the front. Let's get this old ratchet out of here, this old crescent wrench out of here though. And it is genuinely a crescent wrench. And let's go over here and look at these head bolts. What were they? They're 15? I think so. This is a 17. Way too big. Okay, let's get the head bolts out. Here we go. This takes a lot of strength. I hate it. Okay, I have the head bolts out. Now to remove this one more, this dipstick tube. And I'll go ahead and take this bracket off here, because I don't want it snagging on anything, causing me trouble. Well, I got the dipstick tube retaining bolt out. The head gasket's all loose. These 4 bolts up here are out. And let's see if it'll come out of there. This is going to be challenging. It's going to hurt. But here we go. Because it's heavy. That's why it hurt. Well, I've removed the cylinder head. This is the junkyard head. We can't get compression on the last cylinder. Coincidentally, the old head had the same problem. But it was because of the broken camshaft. We don't have a broken camshaft on the junkyard head, but we still have very low compression. And it appears that the camshaft, which spun easily, there it goes, the other day, is good. Yeah, it's good. It may be dirty, but it's good. So, I don't know exactly what happened here. Now, the valves seem to open and close. I mean, I can push on them, like so. And they open close. And they're sealing. It is quite obvious that they're sealing, but I'm not getting good compression on this end, and it's popping through the intake. I'm wondering, it may be one of these little lash adjusters has built up pressure, and it's not allowing enough action. It's keeping the valve open slightly. Now understand, you can put something in the hole and release the pressure, maybe get the air out of it or something like that. And I know it's important to be sure that there's not a lot of excessive wear in between these little towers and the mounting pads and these rocker arms. I'm still impressed with the design, but it's aggravating me pretty bad. So I don't know just what's going on here. Well, here's what I did. This is what I did. I took the camshaft out of the junkyard head and took the head that had the broken camshaft and inserted the junkyard camshaft into the original head. It turns smoothly. I like it a little better. I like the idea. I've got to go to the post office and get my head gasket. I understand it's there. And go from there. So that's it for this video. Next one we should be we should be installing the head and trying to get this thing running. All right, thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it.